Ready? Okay. Hello, my beautiful love muffin. Thank you for joining me today. It's Shandy from expressionfiberarts.com, and I am going to be demonstrating how to work this absolutely gorgeous Sarayu crochet shawl pattern. This shawl is called Sarayu, which means zephyr. It really is like a beautiful, flowy, airy, light breeze, and it's great for warmer temperatures because it's got a nice, light, open stitch, so it's not going to be too hot or too dense. This shawl was designed and features this gorgeous, open, lacy look in a classic rectangle shape. I love this shawl so much because it is great for a variety of uses. You could use it as a beach cover-up. Just toss it on your shoulders, get your little tote bag, and head out to the beach. It is great to walk through the city if you're headed to have a lunch with friends, or if you're just ever in a place where the air conditioner is blasting and you just want a little bit of warmth but nothing too toasty, this would be perfect. It's a great wearable piece, and I hope it reminds you when you're wearing it to allow the winds of life to take away the old, you know, all those things that no longer serve you, and whisk in the new. To keep this shawl nice and light and airy, we opted for fingering weight yarn, specifically our Oasis fingering. I love this yarn so much because it is a blend of super soft camel fiber and glowing mulberry silk. So it just drapes. It is wonderful for shawls and flowing cardigans, and you can see it just puddles. It's just lightweight. It just drapes over your shoulders. It makes really gorgeous projects. If you would love more info on this yarn or the pattern, you can have a hop on over to expressionfiberarts.com. All that info is there. Also, I will put direct links in the description below for you. Today, I thought I would show you how to work this pattern, beginning with how to work a foundation single crochet, and then we're gonna go ahead and work all of the rows. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start with a foundation single crochet. This is very simple. If you prefer, you can also work a series of chains and then work single crochets into those. It's up to you. And I'm just gonna be working a small swatch today, so you don't have to watch me make the whole entire shawl. We're gonna start our foundation single crochet with a slip knot. And go ahead and place that onto your hook. Then you're gonna begin with a chain 2. 1, 2. Then you're going to insert your hook into the second chain from your hook and pull up a loop. So insert into the second chain and pull up a loop. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through this first chain only. So what we're doing here basically is creating chains here along the bottom and then single crochets along the top. So then next, you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops to create your first single crochet. Now, if you go ahead and turn this to the side, and this is going to get easier to see as you go along, you'll see a little V here, and that was your first chain for your foundation. So you're going to insert your hook through both legs of that little chain and pull up a loop. And then yarn over and pull through only that first loop. So you've just created another chain, which you can see if you turn over to the side. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook to create a single crochet. So let's go ahead and do it again. Turn to the side and find your little chain here. It looks like a V. And insert your hook under both legs of that little V. And then pull through, and then yarn over and pull through only that first loop. So there's another chain. So you can see we have our little chains going along the side there. And then to create your next single crochet, do a little yarn over and then pull through both loops. Then you'll just continue along doing however many the pattern calls for. for today's example, I'm just going to be doing 8 stitches. This pattern calls for a multiple of 4. But if you're working a different pattern, you'll just want to check your pattern and make sure you're doing the right number. Oops. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and get to 8. This becomes really simple as you go along. It's a little confusing at first if you've never done it before, but you will get it in no time. So then we'll count, and you can see this kind of foundation has a nice bounce. It's not stiff like if you were to work your chains first and then do your single crochets. So I really like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That counts as row number 1. So let's go ahead and work row number 2. Okay, let's go ahead and do row 2. So we're going to start with a chain 1, and we're going to work back across all of those single crochets that we just did in our foundation. And we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each single crochet across. So very simple. And this is creating a nice little solid visual in our pattern. And you are working through both legs here of your stitches, not just the front or back. And it's really important on this pattern, you want to make sure as you finish each row that you are counting your stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that they line up with what the pattern says you should have. Rows 3 and 4, you're just going to repeat row 2. Super easy. Let's go ahead and work row number 5. For row number 5, we're going to start with a chain 4. And this counts as a triple crochet plus a chain 1. Turning, of course. So then we're going to skip the first single crochet and work 1 triple crochet into the next single crochet. And some people call these treble crochets. So whatever you want to call it is totally fine. So then we're going to do a chain 1. Skip the next single crochet and do a triple crochet into the next single crochet. And again, I'm working through both legs of the stitch. Then you're just going to repeat that all the way across. So chain 1, skip the next single crochet and work into the next one, a triple crochet of course. And since my row here is so short, I'll just go ahead and finish for you. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet and work a triple crochet into the next one. And again, you want to make sure and count your little stitches here so that your edges stay nice and lined up as you go along. Okay, now we're on to row 6. All right, for row number 6, you're going to start with a chain 4, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to skip the first chain space and you're going to skip that first triple crochet and you're going to work 1 triple crochet into the next chain space. Then you're going to chain 1 and work 1 triple crochet into the next chain space, and that's what you're going to repeat across. Chain 1, 1 triple crochet in the next chain space. So chain 1, and here's what you do at the end. So this is our initial chain 4 over here. So when you come to that at the end of your row, you're going to work your chain 1, go ahead and work your triple crochet into that space there at the end. And this is important to maintain the number of stitches across your row. You're going to do a chain 1 again and a triple crochet into the third chain right there. And that'll help to keep your edges even and maintain your number of stitches. So you will find on this row, if you go ahead and count, that it should line up with the number of stitches mentioned in the pattern. Now it's time for row number 7. Okay, for row number 7, you're going to start with a chain 1, and then we're just going to work one single crochet into that first triple crochet there, and then one single crochet into that first chain space, and then continue repeating that all the way across. One single crochet into the next triple crochet, one single crochet into the chain space, and do that all the way across your row, just working one single crochet into each stitch. And then this is very important to maintain even edges and the correct stitch count. Whatever your stitch count was on these single crochets down here, you want it to be the same up here. So I had 8 stitches here, so you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you get to the end, you're only going to work one single crochet into that final space there. And double check again and make sure you have the same number of stitches here as you did down here. For rows 8, 9, and 10, you're just going to repeat row number 2. Let's go ahead and do row number 11. Okay, for row number 11, we're going to start with a chain 1 and go ahead and work one single crochet into that first stitch. Then we're going to do a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to skip the next 2 single crochets and then single crochet into the next stitch. Then what you repeat across your row is chain 5, 4, 5, skip 3 stitches and single crochet into the next stitch. So I'm already at the end of my row, but you will repeat that across your row. And then to make sure you have the correct stitch count, whatever your stitch count was on this row, divide that by 4, and that's the number of loops that you should have. So I have 8 stitches divided by 4 equals 2 loops, so I know I've done it correctly. All right, we're on to row 12. For row 12, we're going to start with a chain 5 and then work a single crochet into that first chain space. Then you repeat across your row, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain space, and I'm already to the end of my row, but you would repeat that across your row, and when you get to the end, you're going to work a chain 2 and then a double crochet into that final edge stitch. Now to count the stitches on this row, you're just going to see how many chain spaces or loops you had on the previous row, and you should have that same number plus 1. Okay, next up is row 13. For row number 13, we're going to start with a chain 4 and 4, and you're going to skip that first little loop and jump on over to that chain 5 space here and work a single crochet. Then you're going to repeat across your row, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 5 space. So that completes my row, and you just want to make sure however many chain spaces are in this row that it's the same number as this row down here. So for me, that's 2. Now we're on to row number 14. For row 14, we're going to start with a chain 1. Then you're going to work a single crochet into that first single crochet, and then 3 single crochets into that chain space. 2, 3, and you're going to repeat that all the way across your row. Single crochet into the next single crochet, and then 3 single crochets into each chain space across, including that end one. And super, super important, you want to count your stitches at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and make sure that it is the same number of stitches you had here and down here at the base, and that's going to ensure that your edges are straight and your piece is going to be a nice rectangle and not veering off. All right, and we're going to finish with some super easy rows again. So rows 15, 16, and 17, you will just repeat row 2. So here's what you should be getting. Mine's obviously just a little sample. Yours is gonna be much longer. And then you're just gonna repeat those rows as many times as you like to get the width of the shawl that you prefer. Then it's super simple. You're just gonna repeat rows 5 through 17 as many times as you like until the shawl is the width that you prefer. And that's it. And there you have it, a beautiful shawl pattern. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope that you had fun with this little tutorial. And remember, above all, to enjoy this day. Let the cares of yesterday blow away with today's breeze, and let tomorrow's winds of change bring in fresh newness that delights and inspires you. And above all, breathe and be here in this moment now, for it is all we ever have. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a marvelous day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
You're not gonna remember. 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
And can you, the whole thing?
Sure.
Okay. So, let me start over. Okay. Let tomorrow's winds whoosh in fresh newness. Wear it over your little bikini. It'd be super awesome. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
So, okay. And let the winds of tomorrow's change. Let the cares. Let tomorrow's winds of change. Let tomorrow's, and that, okay. What's the, not whoosh. Bye-bye.